Students, in this lesson I will teach you how to unwrap a texture by separating the UVW map for the spaceship. Say if you want to render a spaceship with different sides, different views and different textures for different parts of the spaceship, what do? Well, the first thing is you need to make this an editable poly. And this takes skills, but you need to identify, actually which edges you need to separate. So, this spaceship is very obvious. Look, I'm going to break this thing into maybe 4 parts, right? We have the tail, okay, which is actually 1 part, and we have the top view, which is actually the outline of the spaceship, and also the bottom view. Okay, and eventually also the exhaust. So what I can do now is to use a modifier called the Unwrap modifier, located in the modify panel. Okay, it's called Unwrap UVW. In the past sessions you've been using UVW Map, okay, but this session is Unwrap UVW. Unwrap UVW can be used for character. Okay, say you want to separate the face from the hair, from the hands, okay, the limbs and the body. Okay, that's what you use, Unwrap UVW modifier. So I've applied it, and you see, because it's applied, you get the green lines here. These are the seams, but we can, in pelt mapping or in character unwrap, you will need the seams, but for here maybe not. So what we can do now is to get into the elements and the face. Okay, the first object that I'm gonna separate from this mesh is the tail. Okay, so I've selected that, using control dragging on 2 sides. Look, ignore back facing. If I ignore back facing, and I select it this way, it will not select whatever is behind. It will select. If I switch that off, okay, it will only select, okay, what's on the one side, but that's not what I wanted to do. So let's select them. Once you've selected them, you need to set. Look at this rectangle. This rectangle defines the mapping coordinate, okay, for the tail. So what I'm going to do is to actually, it should be a plane, right? I'm going to make it align to that. Okay, align x-axis. So look, it's now capturing only that plane, right? Now if I go back, maybe you want to put fit, so because sometimes it goes over the boundaries. Press fit and go back to parameters edit, okay, in the unwrap modifier. Anyway, if you see there's this tail, tail that is that has been separated. Okay, but I haven't separated that yet, so let me delete that. Okay, what I want to do now is to select that and then detach it. Sorry. Okay, detach it from the mesh. So that's become a separate object. The second thing I want to detach is actually the top part. Okay, so make sure, okay, ignore back facing is switched on, and let's drag the whole thing. So it's selecting only the top, look, and nothing else is selected except for some sections here which you can actually press alternate and drag to remove them. Okay, so you've selected this face and you want that face, okay, to be another UVW map. So I'm going to detach that. Okay, detach into a separate object. Okay, now what do you have left? Okay, all you have left is this section, but I'm going to separate also this bit, the exhaust. So remove that, and let's select all of that and then remove. Pressing alternate. Okay, shift is to add, alternate is to remove. Okay, remove. So only the exhaust, okay, is selected. Look, make sure every single polygon, okay, is red color selected. And then what do? Detach them. Okay, so how many objects do I have now? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the sphere. What is the sphere? Okay, the sphere is the ship base. Let's name it the ship. Okay, and also the screen, the HUD. Okay, so the first thing I want to make into a UVW map is the top part. Okay, so let's apply the UV Unwrap. Okay, make sure the face is selected, or press Ctrl A so you select the whole thing. And then you want that to be a planar map, right? Mapping to that axis, the Z axis. Make sure it's fit. And go back to the edit panel and look, you already now, okay? So that part of the polygon is now a map, okay, a UVW map like that. Okay, that's perfect. Switch that off, okay, and go back and apply to the wing, sorry, the tail, another UVW map, Unwrap. Same thing, make sure you have the face and you've selected the whole thing, Ctrl A, make it planar, and now it's mapping to the Z axis, okay? We want it to be in the X axis, right? And if you go back to the edit, look, you've caught the tail, right? So let's go back and let's do the exhaust. Okay, same process. So I'm going to do it quickly. Face, okay, Control A, it's safer to make sure everything's selected, right? Planar map, Y axis. Okay. Look, it's pointing in the Y. Okay, so that's why it's the Y axis. So you've caught that. Okay. What about the bottom? The bottom part is a little bit complicated because you know what you have is you may be able to capture the outline, but what about the sides? Okay, yes, you can separate the sides into another object, but it becomes complicated. So let's do it another way. Okay, let's apply a UVW map. Okay, Control A to select the whole thing. Make sure the planar map is set correctly in the Z axis. And now we have captured the bottom, but we have captured also the sides. Okay, which is actually, okay, the sides, right? Sort of the bumper. What can we do? Okay, one thing we can do is we can actually go to the vertices, right? And let's select the first three. And look, they are selected now. And I'm going to use the move key to move them out, so that I can actually paint on this part. Otherwise, it's hidden, right? So now I'm painting. Press Shift, okay, so that it's aligned to the vertical axis. And I'm going to go back, scale this a little bit, and select these three sides. Okay, pull them slightly outwards, and also mirror on this side. Okay, it doesn't really matter if it's absolutely accurate for now. Select this side, pull them out slightly, and mirror them. And also the top part. Okay, that's perfect. Right, after we have set, okay, all the UVW map, okay, for every segment, okay, what we do is we join them back together, we attach them. So we apply another modifier, you know, for edit poly, okay, and attach the top, you know. Okay, let's do this step by step. After I attach them, look, I need to, because if you select that, right, look, it's not actually welded together, yeah? So what you do is, if you want to, you need to select, okay, every polygon, okay? There are two vertices here, so you need to select the vertices. But another way is to select every vertex and use the weld feature. Look, you know, the welding distance is that small, so it's small enough to capture only this part, right, and not the other part. So let's apply it. Okay, now the object is welded. Okay, and I'm going to attach all the other parts. Okay, and also select the whole thing and weld the vertices together. Okay, so they are now one piece. After they've been welded together, I will apply another unwrap modifier. Okay, and look, the pieces are now very clean. Okay, imagine if you do that, you know, without going through this whole process, you will get a very messy mesh. Okay, I'm gonna do select element, so I select the whole thing. Okay, see, that's one map that you can paint on. That's the side. Okay, and another map. Okay, and because the bitmap is only within the boundary, so we will have to scale them slightly. Look, you know, this line is actually a mistake. So, but it's okay. We can select both of them, and we don't really need to care, because that you know, that thing is something within that you cannot see. Scale it and rotate it. Okay, we're gonna place this sort of pack this into the baggage. Okay, so that we can render them better. Okay, put them in a nice package. Scale it nicely. Okay. Okay, you will realize why I'm doing this in a short while when I go to Photoshop. That's the back part. Okay, you know, scrolling with the zoom mouse button. Well, they are quite accurate, but I'm going to make some further adjustments. Okay, this thing actually doesn't fit the ratio. Look, okay, so you can actually scale them, you know, pressing shift and then scale them into its right order. Maybe the top part of the ship can be a little bit bigger, you know, because we're not using that much space. Okay, so it's all nicely done. And what we do now is to render a UVW template so that we can port that to Photoshop. Okay, you know, but you know, once you've reached this stage, you really want to save this. So let's save it in. Okay, maybe just create a new folder called Unwrap. Okay, save that Spaceship. Okay, now what you want to do is to render a texture, okay, that you can paint on. So I want it to be, okay, let's do it first. 1024 is quite big, so the texture will look really good. Yeah, let's do that. Render UV template, and you get that. Look, with this you can port that to Photoshop. Okay, very clear now, right? And paint on them and apply them back to the Spaceship. On the other hand, you can set this to a solid, so it's easier actually to paint, right? Or you know, a normal map if you want to. Okay, let's make it a solid. So once it's painted, let's save this file into Unwrap, right? Same document, let's save it as a JPEG, Unwrap UVW. Okay, save it as a higher quality texture. Okay, and let's go to Photoshop. Okay, and let's import. No, sorry, let's open the picture. Okay, from my documents, Unwrap and Unwrap UVW. Okay, so what we can do is to actually select so that we don't paint on the other parts. Okay, I'm using this tool so that I can actually click, you know, follow the vertex points. Okay, it's not perfect because I'm trying to make this video in a shorter time. I'm going to paint that a sort of a lighter blue. Okay, doesn't matter if I cover the window because there's no polygon there. And I'm going to paint this. Sorry, you can actually use the rectangle tool. Paint this sort of a red color. Okay, maybe with a little bit of orange on, you know, on the sides, and a little bit of yellow perhaps to simulate that effect. Brush size, make it smaller. Okay, and what should we have for the color for that tail? Maybe a darker shade of blue perhaps. Okay, darker shade of blue, and let's paint it. Okay, well, it's not absolutely accurate, so I think it's okay to leave a little bit. Okay, it doesn't matter. And let's paint the bottom. Okay, I want the bottom to be, oh no, wait, I want to separate that into two colors actually. So I'm going to press alternate so that it's actually, you know, subtracting that shade from underneath. Okay, and I'm going to paint that white. Okay, white, larger. Okay, and now I will sort of paint that in another color. Oh, sorry. Okay, say some color from here with a little bit of sort of more yellowish, orange on the sides. Oh, that's ugly. Okay, that's better. Okay, save that into the same folder as a texture. Okay, doesn't matter what you name them. And let's go back and close that. We don't need that anymore, don't need that anymore. Okay, this whole thing needs an application because Unwrap UVW already has the UVW map saved, right? So we don't actually need to save the UVW again. Look, there's a save, right? So you can actually save that, you know, the UVW, but let's not do it. Let's go to the materials editor and apply the bitmap. My documents, Unwrap, texture. Okay, apply that and switch it on. Look. Okay, maybe you need to make some adjustments later, but that's the whole point. Okay, the whole point is to separate the object into different parts. We're going to do something now. We're going to add a logo, right? Let's look for my the 3D Studio Max logo. Camtasia, Unwrap. Okay, I like that logo because it's really nice. Okay, I'm going to use this tool called the magic wand to select only the white parts. Control C to copy it. Control V. Okay, and then adjust it. Put it there. Okay, so this is sort of a, okay, and then apply a shadow on it. Copy that, pressing alternate, and you know, and let's save that again. Okay, we can save it as a JPEG, same thing. Save that, and let's also save the Photoshop file so that you can use it later. Okay, now that that's done, we can actually close that, but let's go back and look, it's all automatically updated. Okay, very nice. That's how you put logo, okay, your name or whatever on here. So render it, it looks really nice. Okay, really nice.